First, we knew that there were problems in Haiti, and President Clinton and Secretary Clinton are near and dear to Haiti. They honeymoon there. They've been involved. They've been down there on a number of occasions. President Clinton was the UN envoy there, and so they had visited it a number of times, and the Secretary had visited it already in her tenure prior to the earthquake. So we knew the challenges, and we knew the difficulties. So I think it's good to acknowledge up front what our problems were, and I think there's an acknowledgement within the administration to try to get to a lot of these problem spots. Secondly, we developed a whole of government approach. We hear that constantly at the State Department, trying to bring together all the agencies to try to resolve problems, and we did that. We had virtually every agency involved. You know, I have to give credit to the Department of Defense, the Army Corps of Engineers, the logistical ingenuity. Within days, the airport was open. The Marines came in there, and within days, the port was open. So we didn't sit around. We used FEMA for the first time outside the country. We brought HHS disaster medical assistant teams over there, surgical teams, and we brought them and you know, had them on board immediately. We didn't waste any time. We also built around programs that were already up, PEPFAR, food security. We also worked very closely with the private sector. And lastly, and most importantly, Secretary Clinton has been very focused, and here comes Jan, who gave us this idea a while ago, on diaspora, the importance of diasporas.
I'm always heartened by the fact that American families, when you think that 50% of American households gave money to Haiti, that's huge. Not only does that teach you something about this society, but it also teaches you the fact that there's something bigger here that we all have the responsibility to see through in a successful way. What was done was basically to look at what happened in many of these different catastrophes. And one of the more recent ones that many point to as a successful one was the one in Aceh in Indonesia. And what was done there was to create a development authority that had both the combination of donors and of the government. And in a way, this is basically what was done here in the case of Haiti.
But I think the philanthropic investors have a unique ability in many ways to keep attention focused long after public attention's already moved on in many ways, and it'll jump back in and out. But what we've seen is that quickly will become annual, you know, brief looks. But I think tying the earlier question around accountability, I do think there's an opportunity for serious investors to be able to track and watch those funds. And it's actually, again, I want to be careful of being self-serving. The international NGOs are going to have the highest scrutiny and in ways will be held the most accountable. And I think we'll build the relationships and strengthen local Haitian civil society. And I think the key will be that the pressure stays on.